Welcome back to another way of Naruto had twin sister. Um, I am Dark Shadows. I will get into the intro and then we'll go into a little bit what happened so far. Alright, let's get to it.
It doesn't matter where you are in life. If you don't feel blessed, you won't be blessed. You gotta know your worth before you can be worth anything. All the days were not a thing, French race. All the pain, all the sleepless nights. I'm not blessed because it all ran right. I'm a warrior. I'm blessed because I can't fight when failure trying to take my mind. I wouldn't let failure take my life. I'm not blessed because it all ran right. I'll never give up. I'm blessed because I can't fight. Broken in pain, blow me battered and bruised, always the same day. Nothing more unusual, seems like nothing changed. It's always the same rules. No matter how bad it gets, I refuse to lose. No matter how bad it gets, I'll keep on moving. No matter how bad it gets, I can still choose to keep fighting up, to keep trying up, to keep grinding up, keep rising up. I just got to that point where enough was enough. I can't keep complaining, sitting and waiting for luck. I have to stop asking why me and start looking inside. Push through the pain and tell my story on the other side. Had to renew my mind and start flying. Now I'm lying, it was frightening, but I survived. That choice got me to where I am today. If you think things always run my way, listen close to what I gotta say. All the days were not a thing, French race. All the pain, all the sleepless nights. I'm not blessed because it all ran right. I'm a warrior. I'm blessed because I got fight when life trying to take my mind. I won't let anything take my mind. I'm not blessed because it all ran right. I'll never give up. I'm blessed because I got things. I forgot to see all the sleepless nights, all the sacrifices, the choice between heat, me, and not having lights, all the knockdowns, knockbacks, and failed tries. They don't see the wounds and scars because they're internalized. They think I'm less and think that everything went right. They just see the end result and think I'm alright because I always smile, but they ain't seen the grind. I work so hard that overtime is just normal time. When you lose it all and then still lose again, it builds a different kind of fight inside. It builds a different kind of drive, different kind of fight, different kind of fire, different kind of desire, a different kind of light. But I'm blessed because I've got fight. I wasn't handed nothing. The callus on my hand shows you I ain't bluffing. I'm like the time, you can't stop me for nothing. It's a marathon and I just keep on running. All the days were not a thing, French race. All the pain, all the sleepless nights. I'm not blessed because it all ran right. I'm a warrior. I'm blessed because I got fight when life trying to take my mind. I won't let any.
Alright, now that we got through that lovely song, what happened last time is basically Gato and Zabuza and Haku did not stand a chance. They didn't even bother waiting to find out who Haku was. They just ended the fight. The Team 10 did not want to waste time because Asuma has been training them up to that point. Sometimes the first person to move is usually the one to win the fight, if you can make the first blow. Well, in this case, Zabuza went through intimidation. The team answered back. Team 7 decided at that point they're going to take a day off. They don't know why they decided to take a day off. It's not like anything, but you know what? Kakashi said, you know what? You guys handle this. They need time to relax because they were trained very hard. So, basically, by the time Team 7 realized that there could be problems at the bridge, because Gato sent some men to terrorize Tazuna's family, and Team 7 was there and they took care of it. Team 7 by the time they realized that Team 10 might need some backup, everything was already taken care of. So much so that Team 10 already did the cleanup. They had no idea that the fight happened. Besides, maybe they saw a few things here and there, and Asuma quickly answered, well, you know what, shit happens. So, why the Team 7 was sleeping that night, and to make sure they stay in a nice sleep, Asuma signaled to Celine to use her medical ninjutsu knowledge and basically Mickey Team 7. And she Mickey the whole family, so they stay asleep, no one heard them. And by this point, they're sitting in the main vault of Gato, and they already searched the premises, they destroyed wherever they could. So Asuma hid the main, because it was a secret door, so they hid the door. And they quickly grabbed everything that was in there. Hinata's having second doubts by taking some money for herself. And by this point, the group is kind of convincing her with Choji is not being necessarily dishonest. Right, it's not necessarily honest, but it's not being dishonest as well, because the Land of Waves is basically sitting pretty with the amount of money they're getting. They're getting like 3 times as much as what they originally had. Plus the new income with the bridge coming. They're going to be sitting pretty. And the village is going to be sitting really nicely. And Asuma saying, you know what, you guys deserve a bonus for what all the craft that's been going for. I think this is why he's this late and do it. Just to keep his team happy, because they had to put up for the last 5 days a lot from Team 7. Team 7 has just been, besides TA, just been. So, by this point, they have taken their fair share. So, all Team 7, with what was left they split up, are basically sitting really pretty. They will, so much so that they don't have to do anything. They can splurge on wherever they want for the next 10 generations and still have money. So much so they can easily fund their own country if they wanted to. But they decided they're going to be modest about it. And keep it on the quiet side. And so Asuma also pointed out to the team, this is probably going to be good. So he explained to them that there's times in the past where, if it's wartime, which could happen at any moment, not now, he says, literally stressed it out, it can, war, there's no signs of war is going to break out, but he's making an example, it could happen. And explain to him that this money will actually set you up. So he's, yeah, you could say he's being on the shady side on this. That's, I'll leave you guys to argue about that one in the comments. Kind of want to see how you guys think about that one. But he's letting them basically set themselves up where they're financially secure. His team is financially secure for the future. And that's why he wanted for them to be the best. Because that means they have more chances of choosing what missions they want. High-paying missions. Just because a mission rank is set at this, you also, whoever gets on there, because of the whatever reason, usually gets a little bit more pay from the rank. So he's setting him up. He also pointed out, considering they were technically the backup team to Team 7, 7's probably going to get the majority of this mission pay, regardless they just went up in rank. So they probably will get paid the portions of a S rank, while they will get paid the portions of maybe an A or B rank mission. And he pointed out it's not really fair because they did majority of the work. So, with that said, they happen to get back. They're back at the Tasana's house. And as Asuma kind of predicted, Kakashi didn't drink the tea. He faked it. And so we're at this point where a fight within the living room is going to break out. Well, outside. And no one's going to be aware of it because outside maybe the neighbors, but considering where Tazno is, there's really not many neighbors. So all they're going to be doing is possibly scaring some fish if you want to look at it. So they're outside. Kakashi's out reading his Itchy Itchy Paradise book. His little lovely Master Dryer book that he loves, that orange little book. And they're walking up, they're kind of happy, they're doing a little dance. The Team 10 has very much reasons to celebrate and be happy and joyous. Regardless of Asuma trying to, wanting them reining in, but he's proud of his team, so he's not gonna let it rein in. So where were you guys? Asuma looked over at Kakashi and goes, "We went for a little late night training. I figured they need to learn how to fight even at night. You never know what could happen." Huh. I thought you would be playing fast one and trying to go after and injure Zabazai into him. Well, if you want to do that, you're more than welcome to go try. He goes, "No, my team's not ready for their first kills yet." Oh, okay. Alright, well, I decided, Asuma. Why Team 7's at the bridge tomorrow, Team 10 can stay here. I think you guys deserve a day off. Yeah, if that's what you want, go ahead. I don't think we'll have a problem. Kakashi eyes his one eye, visible eye, narrowing suspiciously. He expected Asuma to argue. He's never been one to, even though he's been the more goofy one out there, the Jonin group. He doesn't like the idea of taking breaks on a mission, when a mission's going. The break can come afterwards, not during the mission. So, to agree with him was something suspicious. Either Asuma already considered the mission to be over, or Asuma setting up Team 7 to take the fall on something. He wasn't 100% sure because if they had taken out the fake Hunter Nen and Zabuza, he's pretty sure that Asuma would have been rubbing at his face. Actually, knowing Asuma, he'd be gloating that his team took care of the problem over his team and just saying, you know what, we're not really needed here, we're going. But to still act serious like they're in the midst of a mission, instead they go, well, if that's what you want, fine. We'll stay here on guard. He goes, my team can use some training too. I'll go ahead and train them a little bit more tomorrow. Alright guys, let's get some rest. Kakashi's on watch, so I'm gonna go take a nap. You guys too. Get some rest. Also, Kakashi still is eyeing Asuma suspiciously. He's still thinking that this is a little off of Asuma's behavior, but he's signed to let it go because he hasn't really spent that many missions on long-term missions with Asuma, so he has no idea truly halfway through a mission would he behave this way. So he decided to let it go. And kind of smirking underneath his mask, he goes, well, we'll just... He goes, I'm sure my team can handle Zabuza tomorrow. Asuma stops. He gives him a nice smile. Not sarcastic, just a nice friendly smile. He goes, I'm sure your team can. Don't worry. Just send one of your pups. If you need backup. We shall be fine. And with the calm voice of Asuma, he's not betraying anything. In his mind, he's doing a little happy dance. He knows some of his behavior has been off for Kakashi to pick up on it, that Asuma's behaving like the mission's over. But he's letting it go. So he's figuring if they just keep it up and keep up the appearance that everything is fine, normal, Team 7 can complete their part of the original mission. He was already making plans for Team 10 to help out with the village, this small little fishing village, and try to rebuild. So, do a bunch of little silly D-rank missions. And that's what he was going to do. They happen to, by this point, they go rest. The morning comes. Team 7's just finished up breakfast. Kakashi has told them, we're going to help Tazuna finish the bridge. Kakashi's a little shocked when he sees a bunch of people there at the bridge helping Tazuna build it. The last time they heard that people were dropping out every day, now he figured their fighting spirit has come back, and kind of shrugs and goes, I guess the fighting spirit has come back, and they say they're going to fight this the tyrant. And doesn't think much about it. Tazuna has by this point gotten used to how Team 10 has guarded, and they basically do guard. They do shifts, and they've been helping him out and the rest of the group with their the bridge building. So to see basically all of Team 7 clumped up together the way they are. They're kind of spaced out a little bit, but they're clumped up enough together that and Sakura is sitting on some wood that hasn't been moved yet, yarning like she was in the canyon, like she was bored. And excuse me. And he goes, "Are you guys really guarding?" And Kakashi looks up, does the one eye smile. He goes, "You be fine, I promise. I'm a Jonin. These children are exceptional what they do. They're kind of the best getting out there on the rest of the teams. You be fine. We're keeping a close eye on things. We're prepared. We're acting like we're weak, so they'll come and attack us first. Eliminate what possibly be the threat before you." Tazuna already knew what happened the day before, and was already confronted by Asuma early that morning. Like Kakashi basically took a 3-hour nap before they decided to wake up to Team 7. And basically, even the day before, he basically reminded Tazuna, do not tell Team 7 that the threat has been eliminated. So he basically they're basically enjoying things. So Kazuna agrees. He understands where Asuma is coming from. But his crew's not saying anything. They're happy. They all know the threat is over with. So they're busy getting the bridge done with because they want to do a big party after the bridge is built. Back at Tazuna's house, Team 10 is waking up. They're helping the Tsunami has clean up the house top to bottom and help do necessary repairs that need to be done. Then they basically made their rounds through the village and helped them out. And so they basically are. Celine is taking care of people that needs medical because the island's been underneath this tire for so long that they weren't getting the medical, and if they tried to do it before Gato was eliminated, him and his men would just take whatever medicine and stuff was available from the people. So once this threat is eliminated, they're taking care of it. The boys are helping fix stuff. The girls are either helping heal or clean things up. So by the time they leave, Inari is actually watching this team, with stars in his eyes. He's idolizing this team. This team just didn't give him a good kick in the ass. Naruto didn't give him a good kick in the ass, but that he needed. But at the exact same time, the rest of the team showed no fear to somebody that was obviously, to his eyes, stronger than the and stuff. And they handed this guy's ass to himself, and they helped free their country from this tyrant. And with all that, they're still showing they're good people. They're helping out, doing what they can. They're helping doing the necessary repairs and stuff around the village. To his mind, okay, this is what heroes do. They just don't stand up to stop things when it's right and when it's necessary, but they also help out other people too. So they quickly learned a few other things. He's following him around their first little fan club with his little friends, as just thinking this team is just awesome. This group of kids that obviously like just a few years older than them, just the nicest people ever. The whole team, while they were staying at his house, were polite. They were helpful. They offered help to his mother and grandfather wherever they can. They never talked down or rudely to his family or anyone around him. He couldn't help but compare Team 10 to Team 7. Team 7, the only person that was polite was Hiei, but he was kind of standoffish and cold. But he was still polite and kind and was willing to help out. His mother almost tripped, and he caught her in wherever thing that she did really was going to drop really fast and help her out. But Kakashi was the silent rude and made the comments every now and then. Off comments that were just can be somewhat off-putting or downright rude. Um, the he goes, Sakura was just he couldn't really describe it. She just found things to find ways to put everyone down to make herself look better, look herself look better or feel better about herself. Mainly, she was nitpicking at Team 10. Mainly, you're at the girls or the blonde. The boys, she tend to leave alone unless for some reason, she went around on each of them a few times a day or when they were there. Just nitpicking. And her comments could be downright rude. And Sasuke, who never really openly was disrespectful to his family, but he showed he was completely disrespectful towards Team 10 and even their sensei. So the tension in the house was actually quite weird, and you could feel it when one team was out. And Team 7 were usually out training because Kakashi was doing something. But when they were both there, you could feel the tension. It's like both teams separated themselves. They wanted nothing to do with each other. You could see there was somewhat no camaraderie with them. So he was trying to figure out, are they even from the same village the way they're behaving? Is that allies that are forced to help each other? He listened to his grandfather talk to his mother, and finding out Team 10, every time they go to guard them, even though they have been working on very little sleep, because Team 7 sleeps all night. They don't do the guard shifts. They slept all night, and so the team itself is working on very little sleep, and yet they still, while they're guarding his grandfather, still trying to find ways to help him out. Help out the builders and stuff. His mom is still amazed every time she woke up that the house was cleaner than it was when they went to bed. Why? Because Team 10, while everyone's sleeping, is either helping his mom do laundry or wash things from top to bottom, and they've been known to wash the windows in the middle of the night. And it's not just some of the team, it's the whole team that just finds something to do. And it's quiet. Well, here's a little bit of time skip. It's about a week and a half later. The bridge is finally built. Team 7 is halfway down the bridge, wanting to leave. They said their goodbyes. Asuma said, go ahead without us. So Kakashi basically waves his team to go on. Team 10 is having a hard time moving through the crowds because the village just absolutely fell in love with the children, with the group of young teens and their sensei. So they're recognizing which team actually pulled up the work, and probably couldn't handle this whole thing on their own, and they pretty much did. Before they left, Asuma hands Tazuna the scroll. Opens up the scroll in the building in his house, saying this is basically all of what is Gato's money, what they found there at his headquarters, and he basically handed it to him and said, "We already taken the village and Leaf's fee for the mission. Don't worry about it." And Kazuna kind of sighs, goes, relief. He goes, "But next time, don't lie to us. We cannot adequately prepare a mission if we don't know the facts, and we're getting sick and tired of clients lying to us. Good people die because of that. Luckily, this didn't happen, but it could very easily have happened. So next time, tell the mission boards or the Hokage the reason, and we can adequately staff the missions. And we can always come up with an alternative or a way for you to pay for the mission. Not a big deal." So he waves, the team is getting ready to leave, and Nari and Naruto have bonded. They're saying their goodbyes, dramatic goodbyes. "Oh my god, we're gonna miss you, I'm gonna miss you too." And they're being overly Naruto's being overly dramatic. Yeah, we're wondering where he learned that one from. Onko. But besides the point. As Team 10 is walking down the bridge and they're waving and they can move fast to catch up with Team 7. They're waving and somebody in the crowd asks Taza what he's going to name the bridge. And he comes up with a few goofy names like, "I'm going to name it after himself, the Great Taza Bridge." And they're like, "Really?" And then they come up with different things, like, "How about the Great Naruto Bridge?" And they're like, "Well, that doesn't fit because it wasn't just Naruto that brought back the team's the island's fighting spirit or their everything back." So they had made a talk and they had made a decision, took a deep breath, and they decided that, well, Nari goes, "How about we call it the Wheel of Fire Bridge, the Great Wheel of Fire?" And Thousand Eyes goes, "Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds fearful, respectable name." So from there on, instead of the Great Naruto Bridge, it was called the Great Wheel of Fire Bridge. Well, to showcase that it wasn't just one person that brought back the life back into the people. It was a group. So finding out the clans their deals. So in the symbol of what they call it the Great Wheel of Fire, they showed the symbol, but they showed the leaf in Asanya to show that it was the Iron Leaf Ninja that showed up to help them. And that was it. As they walked away and had the bridge made back at Hidden Leaf, a lot of people already heard the success of the mission. Teams attend's first success of the mission when they delivered the message to the retreat message exchange mission, the Cloud team, and they didn't get into a fight with them, which is unusual because the Cloud team is always picking fights with the Village Hidden their teams. But they actually got a rude letter from the Rakage saying that his team was terrified beyond belief and wants to know what type of fucking genjutsu that the team that was sent put on him. Well, as far as you know, not one of them on Team 10 was proficient in genjutsu, so they quickly realized it was the team that self that scared them, not against Jutsu. After that, he it became pretty much a well-established rumor that Team 10 had sent Cloud's team to running with their tails between their legs. So Chocho Akamichi and Shikaku Naga were basically not just proud of their sons holding their ground, but uh, basically were not afraid to flaunt that their sons were showing to be quite uh, building up their reputation as not to be trifled with. And looks like they'd be taking their reputations with Cloud. The fearful reputations they built up with Cloud. So, and they were proud that Team 10 is showing signs that they're going to become a legendary team on their own right. Hideyoshi was actually shocked. He didn't want to believe it that his timid daughter, shy timid daughter, that somehow has slowly but surely developed a backbone in the last 2 years, has had backbone enough to handle herself in front of the enemy shinobi. So you are having a group of people, you're having a lot of clans really showing signs they are proud of these children. So a lot of people are congratulating Hideyoshi on his daughter's success, saying that she's showing stuff that showing she can hold herself in a fearful reputation as a leader, one of the leaders of this village, and he didn't think she had the stones to do so. Hanabi had more of the stones when she was younger to be the leader of Hyuga than Hinata. Hinata was always too nice, so he didn't think she had it. And so he didn't really believe it. He wants to know the report. Well, he went and asked for the basically copy of the report, because finding out that Asuma already filed the report, he read the report and finding out that it was true. All Team 10 didn't pull a good jutsu, didn't do anything. What happened was the Clown team tried to show off killer intent to intimidate, and Team 10 answered the call. They showed off their own killer intent and were not afraid to handle themselves. So that was becoming amazing. He was still shocked, and he was reconsidering that maybe Hinata needed the proper nurturing than what he was giving, or maybe she finally realized this was the best way to get her father's approval. He doesn't know, but he was proud of her. He goes, "We'll see how proud I am if she holds us up." And he basically walks out of the missions office. The elders of the clan are saying if she's going to continue to have this form of success, maybe it's time for her to come back. Convince her to come back. Because she just did, with showing signs she's winning the lower branches' loyalty. She is also has won the loyalty of their prodigy. So that the elders said they could use that more than her timidness. If she's showing signs that she's willing the loyalty of the clan is in general, that Hanabi has not even got yet. And him himself has, the clan fears him. They don't have the loyalty towards him. That maybe it'd be best to bring her back, convince her to come back home, and start her training to be the head of the clan. This is where it's going to become a problem because Hinata never, you're going to find out Hinata never wanted to be the head of the clan. She just wanted to be strong like her father and gentle like her mother. She honestly was seeing if she could set it up so Neji could become head of the clan. She thought he'd be a better leader than she was. Outside of that, we go back to where it is. Now the teams have arrived back in the village. Team 7 has gone to the Hokage Tower. They're the first one to arrive. Can't figure out why Team 10 hasn't arrived yet. Saying that they were delayed by a few hours. They don't know why. But Kakashi gives the Hokage his report saying they hadn't seen Zabuza and Machi or the fake 100 since the initial meeting. When they first arrived at the Land of Waves, so they haven't heard anybody from him, or even from Gato, which is kind of weird. He didn't think that Gato would give up on the little nation so much yet. But he gives his report, leaves, tells Team 7, go rest. We're gonna meet up at our training grounds at 8. 2 days from now. So they go home. A few hours later, the next day, well, you might as well say a few hours. It was technically a few hours, but it was more on the next day. Team 10 rolls in, freshly clean, relaxed. What Asuma did was stop off at one resort, a village, town's not too far from the actual hidden village. And they actually spent a night there, enjoying the hot springs, delicious food, and basically he was treating his team to basically a job well done on the first mission. He goes, this next mission, after he goes, technically their second mission, he knows a lot of people are going to want to congratulate them, so he sent off a message to his dad asking the Shinobi Hot Springs be set aside because they're gonna have a nice party there, and so it was a gradual. He wanted to acknowledge their success on the first mission. So they basically went all out, came back, everything was clean. The gate people were acknowledging them, congratulating them on their mission success. And they're saying sorry about hearing that you didn't get a chance to attack Zabuza. And they're like, who says we did it? Kakashi doesn't know. Kakashi and his team didn't really do much. So, but we'll tell you guys that later. Bye. As Asuma pretty much says, we gotta go give our report to the Hokage. They walk in. They're all relaxed. Hokage sits there. There is the Jonin commander, because he wants to hear about this. Because Kakashi's report was, even though it was complete, there was too many holes in it. Couldn't explain. He didn't really explain why. Gato didn't give to the attack. Obviously, he tried doing it before. It was like you don't. So showing slides, he didn't really want to give up on the nation. So all of a sudden, like, to have a change of heart and give up on the nation, and everyone got abandoned. No, that didn't make any sense to them. So you had Ibiki there, Shikaku there, Anko there because she's Ibiki's assistant. Then you had the Hokage, you had the elders there. the two elders. And they walk in. They seal the room with the silent seals. And Asuma gives over the scroll that contains Zabuza's body and the scroll. So, after he hands over the scrolls, then he hands over the scroll that contains whatever money they already took for the village. He says, we already gave back a lot of the money towards Land of Waves, but we took pretty much double our fees for S rank. And the elders could not show, did everything they could, but failed to show that they were shocked and surprised. Ibiki and Shikaku had their eyes widened. Zabuza and Munchi gave Kakashi a hard time, to the point that he was on the verge of chakra exhaustion. From his understanding, he was in a pretty bad place and could easily have been killed if it was the first team basically getting him out of there. And the third is looking down shocked at the three scrolls, trying to figure out what just happened. He goes, explain this, boy. What's going on? He goes, well, we waited for... He goes, did you capitalize on the fact that Zabuza was injured and taking him out like you originally wanted? No, sir. No, Lord Hokage. He was pretty much back in fighting shape. It took the brilliant work of my team. So, they tried to come in with their fog to do the silent killing technique and basically intimidate the team. Celine blew the fog away, and when she blew the fog away, she sent some of her poison sanbone to the enemy. Shikamaru capitalized on one of the sanbone actually being by Zabuza's heart, and basically sent his lightning technique towards that long distance lightning technique, basically to that sanbone as a lightning rod, and efficiently stopping the heart. Why they were shocked by the attack. Before they can react on their counterattack, Naruto flashes over with his speed with the fake Hunter Nin. With Hinata. Hinata knocks out his pressure points. I believe she severed the heart muscles, but it would have not mattered. Naruto does a devastating technique and chops off his head. I can't say that word right now. Sorry, guys. And I come over, take Zabuza's head off to make sure he's dead. By the time we had the body sealed, Gato had about 150, maybe more. I lost count after close to 200 of his goons out there, thinking we were tired. Naruto does a bunch of shadow clones with his sister and Shikamaru, and they basically circle around the men and simultaneous attack when the men charge. Got to orders his men to charge. They basically, the group of Ganin before my group of Ganin before I can even give it the order to attack. Basically attack. Hinata stays by Tazuna to guard him with Choji, while Shikamaru goes into mid-range and tries to keep many other people away with Celine. And Naruto is basically with the clones, working in mid-range, trying to keep them. So it was a brilliant teamwork effort. I barely had to work. Because of how fast they were efficient. Shikamaru got a lot of the men into a shadow possession, even the clones, and they did shadow strangle. They just, yeah. Selene did these, used the water and the air. She just basically showed her mastery over water and turned the water into a razor cut edge and sentient over, basically eviscerating over half the people there. And Naruto, basically, with his clones, was just, yeah. And Naruto would switch with Choji, and Choji would use his expansion jutsu and basically just rolling over people and doing. It was just a brilliant attacks. They worked together. They protected the Tazuna. They cover each other's back. Oh, it's all brilliant. It's just a brilliant deal. And Naruto is smiling, so is the rest of the team. He goes, they worked well. And then when the team 7 was sleeping, mostly besides Kakashi, I decided to make a night raid on what was ever left of Gato's compound and Zabuza's compound to make sure that there was no more enemy there. And tried to collect whatever was there. This is what we found. Like I said, we split half of that. We gave a good portion of it back to the Land of Waves, but took about double, if not a little bit triple, our normal fee for lying to us in the first place. So yeah, and you guys can collect on Zabuza's head now. And we got a nice lovely sword in the process. The Hunterman, I have no idea if he has a bounty on him, but you know what? We'll find out. But yeah, everything was eliminated. We basically went around town the last few days because Team 7 insisted on protecting Tazuna before they insisted on doing training, while we did a lot of the heavy lifting. Come to find out, Kakashi didn't teach them in chakra control exercises before they took on this mission. So, yeah, we didn't really complain. Kakashi didn't think I taught my team the chakra control exercises like walking on water and tree walking. But he tried to teach my team, which had everyone giggling. At that, he walks away, and with the walking away and everything, they go and he goes back and he sat there, was just shocked. The room was in utter silence that you could hear a pin drop. And then some. And the efficiency of Team 10 handling such an outclassed mission that technically they shouldn't be able to handle, but they did. And beautifully. And they weren't just able to cover their own faults or weaknesses if they weren't even sure at this point there was any weaknesses. But they were able to cover Team 7's weaknesses. And Asuma explained to him that there was a lot of tension between Team 10 and Team 7. That he honestly thought his team would have killed Team 7 and buried the body somewhere in Land of Waves. That was getting to that point. And he almost got to the point he wasn't going to stop it. He goes outside Kakashi ordering his team around like they're his servants and his getting. Or he treated his team like crap. And Asuma filed a formal complaint on Celine's behalf that he basically did not appreciate Kakashi's treatment towards Celine. He treated her with the utmost disrespect. If he wasn't disrespecting her, he literally, when he walked past, he literally shoved her to the ground. It wasn't like an accident. Oops, I'm sorry. He literally pushed her, and at times pushed her so hard that if she did not know how to water walk, she would have been in the water. And so, again, Osman capitalized on the fact that he set it up so his team could face Zabuza because he wasn't sure Team 7 could pull it together enough to work well with his team to cover their asses. And he was getting to the point the way Team 7 was outside Hiei. He made a point that Hiei worked well with his team. It's just Sakura and Sasuke and Kakashi, which is majority of Team 7, wasn't sure they can cover their backs. And Team 10 was in agreement that they didn't want to find out. They did not want to be in the position to find out if that was going to be the case or not. So they literally asked if not to have Team 7 there, find ways to make sure Team 7, as much as they possibly can, did not face Zabuza. Because this was a big enemy they obviously weren't prepared for. They were grossly unprepared for it. They were so grossly unprepared for it that it wasn't even funny. They were grossly unprepared to handle basically a normal team, a normal C rank mission. But to handle something like this? Yeah, no, they weren't happy with it. So, Hokage dismissed them, hearing that they had a party to get ready for, because there's going to be a lot of people that want to congratulate them on their success. Padaku kind of glared at the team. He's glaring out the window because he's thinking now he's failing another son. He failed in one tournament with one son. Now he's thinking, what the hell am I doing with another one? He was starting to reach Sasuke to the point where a lot of his behavior, with his superiority complex and his one complex was very much almost eliminated, but his inferiority complex was pretty much brought down where it was manageable. But this was getting to the point that this was really going back under hand, and he is wondering if Kakashi is the wrong that's doing this. It's making this worse. And considering Kakashi specifically asked for Sasuke, no one really, they didn't really want him, but you know what? The other Jonin senseis wanted him either, so Kakashi was the only one that wanted him. So he allowed it to happen. But So, and Sakura Haruno, who showed she could have growth and had potential for Genjutsu, didn't really grow much in the basically in the in the 2 months since they've been out of the academy. 4 months from now, they're looking at the tuning exams. So, yeah, he's the only one that's shown growth, but he was the only one they truly were worried about. So they arranged for another sensei with him. So now they're worried about the rest of Team 7. What's going to happen? But they got it prepared. Yeah. So it comes party time. Team 10 has gotten cleaned up. They're basically at these hot springs that are designed for shinobi. You had the civilians and you had the shinobi ones. The civilians complain that the shinobi can get a little rowdy, so you know what? Retired shinobi basically opened a hot spring spa just for shinobi, and he didn't charge them an arm and a leg. So they got really good prices, and the Akimichi were known to cater they started working in making food for the resort or these hot springs. Though I might as well say it's like a resort because they had a little bit of everything. So, but these particular hot springs were co-ed. You know what? Didn't really matter. Shinobi got used to, males and females got used to various situations for whatever reason. So, by this point, they're all drinking, they're all eating, and they're sitting in around the hot spring or in the hot spring. And congratulating Team 10's success on both missions. They got to the point that shortly after Asuma had gave the report with Team 10, it went up like wildfire that Team 10 eliminated Zabuza and Manchi on their own without their sensei stepping in. But Kakashi was on the ropes with his. And they did the world a favor by taking out a little tyrant bug, too, and squashing him. Effectively ending on a good portion of the drug trade. So they were all basically celebrating and drinking to Team 10 success. And yes, Team 7 was invited. Kakashi Kanake showed up because he thought it was a party just to congratulate for Team 7 success on not just their first C rank mission, but it got upgraded to an S rank. And that he went there to boost his ego, not realizing it's not anything but game boost. And the rest, the people that were there congratulated the young shinobi on their success on their first crap mission they had. But the guest of the hour came in. First it was Hinata. As soon as they were, it was really hilarious. One Gemma was congratulating Kakashi and Team 7 because Team 7 was there at whole on for a success in coming back alive on their first crap mission. And just in the middle of he's congratulating, like, hey guys, you did great. Oh wow. Hinata comes in. Uncle makes, hey! one of the badasses, and goes over. Genma doesn't even apologize or doesn't even excuse himself, just walks away. And Kakashi is like, what? It's kind of weirded out by that. But Team 7 goes and grabs their meal, they're eating. Sakura obviously is wearing kind of like a two-piece suit, while the rest of everyone is basically walking around naked. And stuff. Well, not basically. They all walking around naked, or they have a towel wrapped around their waist if they're not in the hot springs. But majority of the time, depending on some of the older shinobi, they weren't even bothering hiding it. Same with the older Koronwijis, they're not bothering it. The only people that probably were was some of the young ones, and they were being modest about it, trying to. It just went to show you how much Greenhorn was, and she was showing that she had to still the mind civilian. So a few of Shinobi go, "Why is the civilian doing in here? I thought this was supposed to be just for us, or is she one of the playthings for the boys?" And a blush goes across Sakura's face, and she tries to get angry and was about to yell at that older shinobi that said it, but he backhands her really hard that she falls into the spring. And so basically, Hinata's never been complimented this much in her life. So she's blushing. She's really showing her shy side. The Uzumaki twins come in. They're all gay. They go. Both of them go and try. With Shikamaru shortly shows up. Goes to recover Hinata. Asuma comes in shortly with Kurenai and the rest of Team 8. Choji comes and he goes with sits by his team. And Asuma sits by his team. They're eating, they're drinking. And Anko goes, "Tell everyone your successful CS rank mission. Tell them how you kick some ass." And they're all looking at Team 10 is not 100% sure how they're going to do this. The young ones, they thought they agreed they were going to hide the fact that on this. But Asuma goes into awesome storytelling saying, "Well, we were just finishing up our C rank mission. We were on our way home, probably about a day away from home if we picked it up. Probably a little longer because I was going to stop off at one of the nice little touristy towns to go to a hot spring to congratulate them on their first success, being badasses on their first mission, C rank mission, and then just killing it. Being completely badasses to the point they sent the other team home with their tails between their legs. Not just with their tails between their legs, they had them cream themselves. Oh my god, it was beautiful. Then, Shikamaru realizes that we got a messenger bird. He calls it down, hands me the scroll. As I'm reading the scroll, he's feeding it, he's giving it more and sending it back home. I read, realize it's an emergency beacon, tell him to hurry up, get clean, pack up the campsite. We gotta book it to the land of waves. Team 7's in trouble. We don't know what's going on. We have very little information. We just know they need help. And considering we're one of the few teams that are actually out of the village right now, that could help out, and technically was the closest. So Dad sends us to them. We get to the border town to Land of Fire. We make it there in 12 hours. Don't ask me how we did it. We just did. And I have them relax while I go gather information, see about getting us a ride over. Finding out that there's a blockade, that there's very little things going in and outside the island. This little island nation, we're like, oh my goodness. So, what we do is say, getting into a booking a room at an inn for 3 hours. We decided to look for somewhere on the coastline, like a cave or something where we won't be recognized. We realize we're walking, it's really more of a shit show than what we thought we were walking into. Had my team rest for 3 hours, wait for nightfall. The fog is already starting to roll in. Once it was really foggy, instead of attempting to get a boat or anything, we just decided to walk across the water. Normally we would have run, but we didn't want to alert any enemies that, again, we had no idea what we were walking into. We got very little information. We get there, we would navigate the island where we were at to the Master Bridge Builder's house, Tazana. Shikamaru to the right of the door. Shikamaru to the left. Sorry. And Naruto to the right. Hinata jumps up, kind of on the roof line, but she sticks herself to the wall. The team is in formation, ready to attack anybody that comes through that door that is not friendly. I knocked on the door and stepped back, giving more enough room that if need be, we can move in. And lo and behold, a little shit named Sasuke Uchiha runs out the door, kunai fly straight out in front of him. Naruto reacts, breaks his wrist, and forces it out of his hand. Why, Shikamaru simultaneously to Sasuke hits the pressure points in his arm, making it go limp. While Sasuke is pretty much helpless, Naruto turns around and has a kunai to his throat. The very kunai he just used to come running out. And if they had moved even faster, and they were already pretty much moving fast at that point, they could move faster. But if they were moving even faster, Sasuke would have been dead. That's how fast they were moving. We were already on edge at this point. Realizing who it was, I told him to let him go and stop. With Sasuke's arm hanging, because he has no movement in it, because the pressure points, it's numb, it's useless to him. It was already starting to be useless to him, because they're clearly the snap. He's whimpering like a little bitch, because he's feeling the pain. I grab him by the back of his pressure points to force him to go limp and force him to move in. I'm trying to scold him. Pink hair bitch over there starts screeching on the top of her lungs about we can't do that to her precious Sasuke-kun. I forget which one of my badass bitches I have on my team, but did it. But one of them got behind her and karate chopped her in the neck and knocked her the fuck out. Thank God. I would have probably threw a kunai through her face. Or something, just to shut her up. That's how loud she was. My ears bleed. I had to have Celine check my ears to make sure I didn't have ear damage. That's how bad she screeched. He calmed the family, saying we're back up. We're not the enemies. I basically had him to ask where Kakashi was. Sasuke at this point is not knocked out. It's only Sakura. Sasuke in a position where he should not be mouthing off. Anyway, decided he was gonna mouth the fuck off and say, "What does it matter? Why should we tell you?" I'm not in the mood. I was not in the mood for a teenager who thought he was all that and bag of chips. Let's face the facts. He's small. He's not. He acts like he can carry. No, he's not carrying anything. I knocked him the hell out because I didn't want to deal with his shit tonight. Even more, I wanted to deal with the pink hair bitch shit. I'm basically still holding him up like nothing more than a fucking rat puppy by his neck. He was polite, says he's upstairs he's incapacitated. We have him lead slain. We follow him. We drag one of the boys, I don't know which one, I don't really care, threw Sakura over her shoulders. I basically carried Sasuke up the stairs by his neck. Half of him dragging because I don't really care. That's probably why he woke up with bruises. When we get to the room, the boys basically, one of the boys, whoever was carrying Sakura, tosses her off to the corner like she's a jacket or yesterday's clothes or wherever, stinky clothes. He tosses her off. I basically, once she landed, tossed Sasuke in that same direction. We all get around in a nice little formation. I put a little bit of my chakra into Kakashi's system to let him know friendlies were around. And we were prepared to hold him down while Celine does her assessment. So, yeah. After she does her assessment, I go ahead and give her the okay to go heal Kakashi. She gives him a full pill. She gives me the assessment that what we are doing. She gives me the assessment that he dealt with chakra exhaustion. His ankle is shattered. He's going to be in a coma-like state for at least a week or so if we don't do something. I go ahead. She gives him a food pill, a couple of them, to help start rebuilding his chakra a little faster. Heals his ankle because I wasn't sure what we were dealing with. He knew, being a seasoned shinobi, he should be able to tell me more. Coming to find out, he told me no more information besides who it was than Hiei did. And Hiei, if you get crap, let us know. We got your back. He was irritated about Hiei sending off the emergency beacon. Well, let's face facts. Kakashi fucked up twice. He fucked up when he realized the mission was beyond the scope of the deal, of the original assessment. Should have turned around and went back. Wherever his reasons were, I can understand that the island was basically in trouble if they did it, so I'm not faulty on that. I probably would have done that, but I knew my skill level of my team. They can handle it. When he realized that was going to be that it was beyond the scope of the original mission, what he should have done was call for help. And have a little bit more explanation. If he was looking for another Jonin to show up, fine. He should have been the one to make the call. Not a Greenhorn Jonin that has no idea what level they should have had. A couple of extra Chunin or a Jonin. Based off the little information he was able to give to Lord Third, there was very little he could do. He sent out the closest team that he could that was already completed the mission. Well, by all means. I let Kakashi have my piece of information then. Well, the next morning Kakashi starts acting like a badass, or that morning, acting like a badass and getting a hold of my team and ordering them to do some extra training. That will help him. I'm curious to find out what training that they were talking about. I decided to go along with it. And I shit you not, the extra training that they were going to do was tree walking. When my team tried to politely tell Kakashi that they already knew this, he was being the asshole that we all know and love. and tell him he highly doubts that. And my team demonstrated to him walking up the tree. Oh, this was hilarious. They walked all the way up and they walked all the way down. Beautiful. I couldn't be more happy for my team. And he goes, oh, okay, no, never mind. I guess you can move on to the next step. You can do water walking. Well, my team, being a bunch of smart asses, decided to all jump off at the tree at once and move to the water. They're all standing on the water. Well, Naruto, who did his little shake my butt to dance on the tree, decided to continue to do that. And the kids, the group, one of the people on my team, not 100% sure if it was the girls or one of the boys, but they made a point that if he doesn't do that, Sasuke might get enticed and pull Akamaru on him. Which, the fear, I'd never seen the color drain on somebody's face so damn fast. Turn around, he covered his ass, and you could tell he puckered it. He covered it and puckered it, and yeah, it was kind of hilarious. I'd never seen anybody do that, and I kind of looked at my team and it was like, what the heck is going on? It was good. And come to find out, what Sasuke did on orientation day when they found out about their teams. That was an accident I got bumped into. I explained this before in the land waves, I'll explain it now. You were there. If you were a ninja worth any of their salt, even a green horror like us should be able to redirect their body or do something to prevent the situation by happening. You did it. So, according to Akamaru, he felt tongue. So obviously you were prepared for that. That was the situation you wanted to make it look like an accident. So you tongue raped one of our comrades. The look on everyone's face was in horror, but Celine, being the cool person that she was, basically re-explained to everyone that Sasuke wanted it. I guess that means some bad news for you ladies. He bats for the same team. Now the question is, for you boys that like to do that too. Don't care. Obviously he showed he's into a little bestiality, so he's willing to do kiki. If you dress like a furry, or have a little more fur on you, yeah, he'll be happy. Yeah. Sasuke is cherry red with anger. You can see the classic steam out of his ears. I like girls. Since when? A random, not 100% sure if it came from Team 9, Team 8, but everyone by this point knows his reputation. He ignores the fangirls. He ignores basically the female population, so a lot of them are not 100% sure if the jokes that were being made through Team 10 for the last 2 months and a half has some accuracy. The evidence was obviously there if you look at it. He never showed any interest in the opposite sex. Even though he said he was going to marry and help restore his clan. Well, they all look at all thinking to get married and restore clan implies that you need to reproduce. Reproducing means you need somebody on the female variety. Because a lot of the guys, unless it's a bloodline limit, can't reproduce. So they don't know anybody with that. So and yeah, they didn't think much about it. And so they're like, what? For that? Wait, for you to do that, you have to. Oh. Oh, okay. Alright. They left it at that. And they. No one said anything, but they all thought, Sasuke, you're gay. Now you're fighting it. What's going on? And that was all the collective thinking. But they moved on. They were still. Asuma, somebody asked Asuma to continue. Well, he goes, so my team, I decided for my team to go protect Tazuna, like the original mission statement said, to protect him while he's building his bridge. Now we have more of an idea what we're protecting him from. So the first few days was relatively quiet. My team goes into basically guard formation. They're giving each other updates, walking around. Uh, Naruto, being more, summons a few shadow clones to help out with the building of the bridge. By this point, considering they pretty much know water walking and wall walking, they're basically checking the other side of the bridge to make sure that there's no one. Considering I have a few good sensors on my team, they're also using those abilities to make sure they're not getting snuck up on. Well, almost a week goes past. Kakashi is taking his team out. This is the routine. Kakashi will take his team out to do some type of training. I'm thinking by this point they're already working on war walking, while the rest of us are doing this. We go and guard. Well, this particular day, we're getting up and we're going to follow Tazuna up to the bridge. We normally part at a certain point. And Kakashi, as we're getting up and ready to leave, has announced that Team 7 will stay and have a day of relaxation. They deserve a day after all the hard work and training. We're in the middle of a mission. Hello, we don't do that. But hey, you know what? I'm not their sensei. You are. You fucking will do what you want. So we go. We're probably only there for a few hours, and keep in mind it's almost noon. The Tazuna just breaks everyone from to break everyone for lunch. So we're getting ready to sit down to have our lunch as a mysterious fog rolls through. It's really thick, and Tazuna's like, wait, this is unusual. It's happened from time to time, but it's rare. It's only during, it gets really cold where we have fog at this point. But it usually means that it's stayed all day. And we understand he's a civilian. He doesn't understand what was going on. We realized we were getting ready to attack it out of the mist. A demonic voice, fitting the demon of the mist, comes out and say, oh, did Kakashi run with his tail between his legs? That I scare him that much, and I have to deal with new brats. Oh, they're shaking. My team did give him. he sends out his killing intent. My team dare break a sweat. Celine uses her ability over Win and blows the mist away, which takes away their advantage. Why she did that? She has in her fans has a way so she can release symbols. She does that, and for some reason they don't realize that Big Nest got hit with symbols. Oh, Sensei, you didn't know the poison I use? It's quite deadly, so they were gonna be dead anyway as soon as they got hit. Symbols are not meant to be for, I wasn't aiming for any vilities, I was just aiming as a good way to, deliver the poison, but it has a numbing agent on it, a really effective numbing agent, so they didn't realize they got hit. I don't want them to take you out because I have made the symbols special, so inside, because of the, nature of the symbols, they have the poison. They're hollow inside, so they have the poison. So they're getting probably about 10 cc's, if not more, depending on each symbol that has the poison. And considering it's numb, they didn't realize that it's there. So, oh, well, that's effective. Next time, tell me. Sorry, Sensei. I'm used to playing keeping things close to my vest. I will let you know. I didn't think much about it. I'm sorry. In practice, I really don't use them. Unless I'm by myself, so no one accidentally gets hit, because I don't. And he goes, what do you mean about us? Oh, I've been working on your guys' immunity for the last month or so. Oh, okay. Outside of Naruto and Shikamaru, they already have the immunity. You get 3 of you don't. I do too, because it's my poison, so yeah. Oh, Hinata knew about it. She knew she was getting immune to. So Choji, I just wanted to see if I could poison you without realizing you were getting poisoned. In small amounts, of course. I'm scared of you now. You should be. I am quite scary. But that's besides the point. Oh shit, did you poison my drink now? No, we didn't poison your drink now. I'm not gonna tell you what I poisoned because it defeats the purpose of what it is. Oh god, I'm scared. Don't worry, I put mild poison for Kakashi. He irritated me that much that I poisoned him. Now he just needs to figure out where he gets poisoned, where he is. We'll pretty much find out pretty soon if it's effective. Okay, later on you're gonna tell me what you poisoned and what? I really want to know that. As Asuma asks her, but I am scared of you. Holy shit, the pull fast one on me, much less a fast one as Kakashi. Yeah, well, what can I say? I did want to have the nickname Angel of Death, but hey, that wherever works, works. The poison mistress of Koha, that works. Anko by this point is laughing. Oh, she's loving her former students, and she's like stays her former students. She still teaches them her brass balls. So doing that, the third is kind of putting his pipe down because realizing that's probably how she's administering the poison. She, uh, watching her grow up. When she wants to fuck with somebody, and she's that pissed off she wants to fuck with you and not get away with it, she gets very, very creative. Um, Boar, when Zambu, can basically to test. And he has an idea what poison she used, and it's not gonna really kill Kakashi. He's just not gonna feel anything from the wait. anything down south for a little bit. And oh, oh my goodness. If she, depending how much quantity he is, he's not gonna feel like he needs to take a shit. Go, oh boy. Oh, oh my. My husband goes, he has the same sentiments as his son. I fear her. I'm scared of her. He goes, I'm the Hokage for fuck's sake, but I'm terrified of a 13-year-old girl. She has proven she's not afraid to put poison in people. It's food. Oh my god. She's not, and she knows how to administer it. And that's when Asuma realized if she wanted to Mickey Kakashi that night, she could have easily did it. But he must have did not feel for it or thought something like that. It faked his drink. He thought he was faking drinking, but now he's wondering, did she actually Mickey his drink? Or did she make it obvious that she did? No one really knows because that's how it was. He kept his mouth shut. And he was like, oh shit. Oh, did she did she get him a different way? Oh, we don't know. But he wants to know how she did it. The rest of the team is kind of Choji puts his chips away. He's kind of worried that she did something to his chips, even though she knows he's been giving him small doses of her strongest poison. But giving him the antidote too, so he doesn't even know. But he realized he doesn't taste the after effects of the poison. But he's had the same sentiment as everyone else that's thinking, "Oh shit, I fear her." Bicky looked kind of off-putted. At that, the fact that she just got over half the shinobi that is all the shinobi that's present, soon to get the rest of the population scared of her, and she's only 13. And the only thing that everyone that knows who her father is can think of is, Minato, are you up there laughing your ass off, so proud of your daughter that she is terrifying of the living down here? Yeah. Kakashi is about the face. You don't piss off somebody and take out anger or something that you don't understand. So, yeah, they go on. Asuma goes and explains to him, and so he goes, okay, back on topic about the deal. So, the fog rolls in. Celine blows it away. She has embedded them with a few good symbols. They don't realize it's there because of the locations where they are at. One of the locations for Zabuza happened to be good, right there by his heart. I know how long her symbol are, so this one's pretty in there. And from what we just found out, she just poisoned him. He was going to be dead within a few minutes anyway, but Shikamaru decided to give him a reprieve and merciful death. He summoned some lightning and sent it straight towards there and hit all the symbols, but he mainly hit that one and basically fried him from the inside out. Zabuza went down before the fake Hunter Nin could do anything. Hinata and Naruto flash over. Hinata starts knocking down the pressure points. I seriously believe she killed this guy before he went down. And it didn't really matter after that because Naruto uses one of his kunai, enhances it with the Witch Hawker, and there goes the head. It rolls to the ground. And next thing we know, we're getting laugh, chuckle. We look over on the side. It is Gato. He has about, what say, 150, maybe 200, maybe a little bit more. I lost count at some point. I don't really care. It was a small army of thugs. Saying that, well, thank you for taking care of that, but a new plan here is you guys die right here now on this bridge. And he goes and basically orders men to charge. Well, okay. While he's doing his whole big speech, he doesn't realize that Naruto, Celine, and Shikamaru have summoned the Shadow Clones cage style. Multi of them got behind this group, and Hinata and Choji took defensive positions around Tazuna. Celine, Naruto, and Shikamaru take the position right in front of them in mid-range. So when he ordered his men, the clones came at them and they was just attacking. And soon you see it across the battlefield. Shadow Clone, Shadow Pizzalis' jutsu holds these a good portion of the groups. Shikamaru has a good portion of them. Next thing you know, Strangle Jutsu comes out, kills them, and he doesn't really strangle. He just snaps their necks. And I think you need to call that one the snappy neck one. Naruto's clothes are there. He's sending weight and wind chakras out there to cut and slice. Celine has summoned water out of nowhere, but I'm thinking she summoned water underneath the bridge because the water's everywhere. And turned it into a fine razor blade and basically sent it out to the group and it was eviscerating the whole group. Yeah, by this time everything was said and done. They were all dead. Gato literally watched his empire fall. And it's like Naruto and Choji at some point switched positions and he basically became his rolling moly mole and was crushing a lot of people, went to partial expansion jutsu, was just grabbing people by the handfuls and just smacking them like doing a giant patty cake type deal. And yeah, it was beautiful. They were working together. I didn't really need to do anything. At some point, Hinata, I'm not sure who does the cooling blow, but I think multiple of them did the killing blow on Gato because he was the last one to die. Next thing I'm seeing something. Yeah, they got him. They took him out. Later that night, once Team 7 goes to sleep, I order my team to go. We're gonna do a raid on Zabuza's place and Gato's place, and we found a lot of those documents destroyed or being destroyed, so which means Gato was in preparing to destroy everything. Some of his traps were not necessarily traps to slow down, was actually traps to destroy. When we found the safe, there was not much there, but we took Leaf's Densum's cut and gave it back to the rest back to the land of waves, and yeah, that would be the end of our story. But yeah, this team kicked ass, took names, performed their first kills, multiple kills. We're gonna have to talk about that tomorrow. But tonight is eat, drink, be merry, and we'll worry about crap in the morning, right, guys? Everyone clapped their hands. A few of the shinobi clapped their hands like, here, here. Kakashi, for all this time, had his smugness about it. Now he just realized the reason why Team 7 wasn't attacked by Zabuzaya's men. The whole reason why he wanted Team 7 to relax that day when Samagato's been attacked, he assumed that the fight was going to happen the next day, not realizing he was happy all that day. He was just pretending to give a backup, thinking that the fight was happening when they found out nothing. Yeah. He just found out his team got outwitted and outbest by a team of dead last. That was his mind, his thoughts. A team of dead last. Besides one, outmatched by team of Rookie of the Year and Koichi of the Year. Hiei's not the dead last, but he's not. He was just below Sasuke. So my team was set for success. How? He goes, it must be a fluke. That's all he could think of, is it was a fluke. Okay, now with that, I will leave you guys that piece. We'll get back together here soon. Because if I continue, I can easily continue on for a few hours. But I figure I gotta split this up. Because who really, it's almost a 2-hour long session right now. Who really wants to sit around for almost 3 hours listening to this when it's almost 2 hours now? But we'll get back together on the other one. I am Dark Shadows. We'll get back together later on. Bye bye.